Good morning, beloveds. So birds today. um, a mockingbird decided to pose on a mailbox, so I took his picture, and I tried to take a picture of a cardinal. I don't think I got it. And then I call it a red-headed woodpecker because its head is red, but a friend of mine posted that it is actually a downy woodpecker or downy, yeah. It still has a red head. It's just not got that woody woodpecker crest. It's just kind of it's still red. I must live in my neighborhood because I've seen him, twice now. So that was really cool, or maybe three times. Because I've seen him twice on my cul-de-sac, and then I saw him a couple of streets over this morning. So really cool. And it's muggy. It's in the 70s now. Like it was 73 when we went out for that run today, and both Tom and I were moving slow, and we're both just like, and I'm like, neither one of us want to do this today, but we went and did it. So yeah, this is where we are. But you know, and then I saw one really cool palm tree. It's the sago palms are sprouting, and this one's all, it's spread really wide and the fingers are all curly, and so I was like, well, I can't not take a picture of that. So yeah, Grinch fingers or aliens. One of my friends says that they look like aliens, so I'm gonna make sure that when I post that one I tag her in it. Because she and I are going back and forth over Grinch fingers or aliens. It is April 27th. Our title is Victory for Me is Certain, for God Permeates My World. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. That is Matthew 6:13. Established in truth, I see God everywhere, around me, within me, beneath me, above me. God is the reality of my being. I live in a perfect presence. I am acted upon by a perfect power. I am living a life divine. The glory of the Lord is upon me, and I appreciate my blessings. In my experience today, the kingdom, the power, and the glory of truth are dominant. Victory for me is certain, for God permeates my world. This victory is easy, for within me there is a divine center that knows no evil and cannot accept evil. As I relax from all tension and let his mind rule my thinking, I find that all things work together for good. There is no battle to be fought, for life moves through me with direction and purpose, and I let my good happen. I speak with the voice of truth, and my words establish good. I hear only the truth, and my mind is centered on peace. I feel the encircling presence of love. I know that life is worthwhile, and I enjoy every moment of it. Unceasing joy is my lot, for I am finding God everywhere. My present world is heaven, and I live in it as a spiritual being. I delight in finding good everywhere I look. I enjoy the feeling of spiritual security. I am free of fear and strong in faith. I know that only God acts in my life today. Upon me is revealed the riches of the kingdom of heaven. All power is given unto me to use rightly. Glorious opportunities unfold before me. The eternal mind whispers in my ear the sweet ideas of truth. I am free of the past, at peace in the present, and secure in the future. All right. So the one line that jumped out at me immediately is I am living a life divine. I am living a life divine. He also said, and I appreciate my blessings, and that's gratitude. And gratitude actually is one of the most powerful ways to shift your thinking. When you start looking for things to be grateful for, and I've used my partner as an example more than once, because he was just crabby and really just, he was just in a mood, and he'd been in a mood, and he just said, I don't know what to do about it. And he said this to me, and I looked at him, and because we're both practitioners, it can be, we tend to be spouses, and we tend to be friends, and every now and again we practitioner each other. And trust me, when we practitioner each other, especially when it's one of those off the cuff things, it's really irritating. I will be straight up honest. Like, if I'm in a mood and he practitioners me out of the blue, he's like, tilts that head and looks at me and goes, and then says in the practitioner voice, and it's irritating, but it's also amazing that we can do that for each other. So I did that to him. He's crabby, and he says, I just don't know what to do about it. And I said, why don't you create a gratitude journal? And he, of course, because I practitionered him out of the blue, he didn't come to me asking me to practitioner him, and that's why we grump at each other about it. I didn't. So he grumped at me, but he did it. And a week later, he came back and he said, I feel better. I feel better. And that's the power of, if you're just, grumpy, crabby, sad, whatever is going on, if you are having and I'm going to use the word non-preferred emotion, then what you can do is look for your blessings, look for reasons to be grateful for. And you start with the silly, and you start with the small, and you work up to the big. You can be grateful that the sun came up. You can be grateful that the jasmine is blooming. You can be grateful that cats have whiskers. You start out with the little things, and you work your way up into I'm grateful I got out of bed today. Those kind of things. And the power of that to shift your emotional state and your thinking is amazing. It's amazing. And that's how you shift into, I am living a life divine. You start with the gratitude. You start with being grateful for the good around you. Because the more, when you look for the good, you see the good. When you see the good, you start seeing more of the good. And the more good you see, the more God you see. The more God you see. You see spirit all around you. And then suddenly you're living the life divine. And that's how you get there. It's baby steps. What they do is hardball metaphysics. They say, this is the truth. But it's not always easy for us to get from where we are to the truth that they're speaking. So we start with baby steps. We start by being grateful for silly little things like cats having whiskers and clouds in the sky, and and we work up to being grateful for the amazing coworkers that we have. That one coworker who went out of their way to do whatever it was. Being grateful that your partner is a practitioner and will pull that out on you when you're just being you, so you work your way up, and then suddenly you're living the life divine. Because it's baby steps. And suddenly you turn around and you look how far you've come. And you're amazed at the progress. All right. So, victory for me is certain. Gotta take the steps. And baby steps are more than okay. They are the perfect way to start. For God permeates my world. Everywhere you look, God is. And gratitude is how you find God. And we're finishing up the Lord's Prayer. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Okay? We live in the kingdom of heaven. The question is, are we aware of it? So, established in truth, I see God everywhere. Around me, within me, beneath me, above me. God is the reality of my being. We are made of God's stuff. There is nowhere that we look that God is not. There is nowhere that we go that God is not. Because we carry God within us, as well as meeting God all around us. The meme occasionally pops up, and it says you'll never look in the eyes of someone that God doesn't love. That includes your own. You will never look in the eyes of someone that God does not love. So God is everywhere. I live in a perfect presence. Remember that perfect means complete. Perfect means whole. It means inclusive. It doesn't mean flawless. It can include flawless, but that's not what we're talking about here. So the presence that I live in is whole, complete, inclusive. I am acted upon by a perfect power. I am acted upon by a complete power, meaning that power has everything within it to do whatever it is that I am working on. If I am working on healing, if I am working on, emotional, I want to say emotional maturity, but I don't think that's what I mean. But, whatever I am working on, if I'm working on social justice, perfect power. Everything I need is within that power. And I have access to it by virtue of the fact that I'm made from it. Okay? So we are made from that perfect power, which means we have access to that perfect power. I am living a life divine. The glory of the Lord is upon me, and I appreciate my blessings. And that's how we get to the life divine, by appreciating our blessings, by starting with the small and working our way up. In my experience today, the kingdom, the power, and the glory of truth are dominant. Meaning, yes, I am aware of the things that need to be fixed. I am aware that there are things that are not working in this world. But I am also aware that there are a whole lot of things that do work. And I'm also aware that the things that don't work are being worked on. That we are working on the things that don't work. Our goal is a world that works for everybody. So I am aware of both. We acknowledge the things that don't work, and we actively work on the solutions. We don't work on the problems. We work on the solutions. It makes a difference. Basic psychology. Victory for me is certain, for God permeates my world. This victory is easy, for within me there is a divine center that knows no evil and cannot accept evil. Because remember, evil is not a power. Evil is a misuse of the law. So within me there is a place where I meet the unfiltered God. And where I meet the unfiltered God is a place that evil cannot exist, where the misuse of the law can't happen. Because all it is spirit. And that place exists within you too. That's what we call the divine spark. That's what we call the divine splinter. That's what we call God, spirit, soul. That place where nothing has ever been wrong. That place we go to in spiritual practice to fill up so that we can come back here into the material noise and do our work. As I relax from all tension and let God's mind rule my thinking, I find that all things work together for good. Sometimes non-preferred things happen. And sometimes they happen because they get our attention and help us to change direction. And sometimes they happen because we are in relationship. We are in relationship with people, other divine beings, other godlings. And, I'm not going to say everything happens for a reason, but everything that happens gives us a reason to change directions, push forward, what have you. Because when you say everything happens for a reason, it falls harsh on the ears. But everything that happens can give us a reason. And I think that's a kinder way of saying it. There is no battle to be fought, for life moves through me with direction and purpose, and I let my good happen. And that's one of the things that they talk about. If we give up the battle and warrior and war verbs or vocabulary, that's the word I wanted. It wasn't a V word. And move towards the solution, because it changes the way we approach things. So there are no battles to be fought, for life moves through me with direction and purpose. I don't have to fight. I do have to do, but I don't have to fight. I have work to do. You have work to do. We all have work to do. We don't have to fight to do it. Because the power that we need to do it is coming from a source that is inexhaustible. I speak with the voice of truth, and my words establish good. Ernest, that's one of the things that Ernest teaches, straight up teaches. Speak your word. Because your words, your thoughts, your thinking create your reality. Speak your words and establish your good. I hear only the truth, and my mind is centered on peace. I feel the encircling presence of love. And that's the power of gratitude, is gratitude can bring that feeling of love into the forefront. And there are all kinds of loves, and there are all kinds of different loves. It really is. That's one of the things that I'm working on, is telling people that I care about that I love them. Not just my spouse, not just my partner. It's like, let me tell you that I love you. Because there are all kinds of, go look, the Greeks had 7 different kinds of love. Familial love, brotherly love, divine love, romantic love. So, there's a bunch of different kinds. We should practice all of it. It makes life much better when we have all kinds of different loves, not just the one. I know that life is worthwhile, and I enjoy every moment of it. Okay. Is that true for me 100% of the time? No. No. Do not let me kid you. That's what I call hardball metaphysics. But I try. I know that life is worthwhile. That, straight up, I know that. Do I enjoy every minute of it? No. But I work on that. I do work on that. And sometimes even when I'm not having fun, that's when my work is to look for something. Look for something to make it worthwhile. Look for something to make it good. And start there. And that's where you start with the whiskers on kittens. That's part of a song. Because now I have Julie Andrews in my head. Unceasing joy is my lot, for I am finding God everywhere. My present world is heaven, and I live in it as a spiritual being. All right? If you think of everything around you as heaven, it will change how you move through the world. I delight in finding good everywhere I look. I mean, that's true. I don't know about you, but that's true for me. I enjoy the feeling of spiritual security. I am free of fear and strong in faith. And that is the point of spiritual practice. That is to be strong in faith. To be strong in faith. So that even in those moments when the danger is real, fear is a choice. I have faith that whatever happens, in the end, it will be okay. I know that only God acts in my life today. Unto me is revealed the riches of the kingdom of heaven. All power is given unto me to use rightly. What do we mean by rightly? love, peace, joy, happiness, harmony, creativity. Those are all of those qualities of God that we're constantly talking about. And rightly means benefiting all. No one is left out, and that includes you. That includes you. And that's one of the things that I always want to focus on. Because I like to talk, I've started talking about the divine no. Because occasionally we are asked to do things to our own detriment. No. It's got to benefit everyone. Everyone is included, and that includes you. That includes me. We can't leave ourselves out. Glorious opportunities unfold before me. The eternal mind whispers in my ears the sweet ideas of truth. If I am open, I will hear exactly what I need to hear. And it will come from all kinds of amazing places. Sometimes it is that still small voice that comes from everywhere and nowhere. Sometimes it's a conversation that I'm having with a coworker or a friend or a family member. Sometimes I hear something random on TV or the radio. Sometimes I see something and go, there it is. There it is. It's about being open. I am free of the past, at peace in the present, and secure in the future. And that is a power statement. I am free of the past, at peace in the present, and secure in the future. So our mission, should we choose to accept it, and I'm going to give it to you because you know it, because I already said how much I love it. Our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to live the life divine. To live the life divine. Okay, what does that mean? How do I do that? By looking for the small blessings. Start with the small blessings. Look for the good. As my friend Sharon likes to say, she's a practitioner too, look for the good and praise it. I believe she's quoting Emma Curtis Hopkins when she does that. Look for the good and praise it. And that's how we live the life divine. All right, beloveds, that is April 27th. I encourage you, as I always do, to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like, whatever it looks like. Today, for me, it was to go out for a run and look at the birds and the palms. To look at that fresh green, that green that happens in nature only in the springtime. There's this shade of green that this is the time of the year, this is the only time of the year that you see that shade of green. And I love it. And I love it. Now, to be fair, redhead. I love green. So, but that's it. So whatever it takes for you to be kind, compassionate, loving with yourself today, please do that. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased. You deserve that. So please take care of yourself. Do something to engage your mind and your body. I would tell you to go get a face full of sun, but here it's overcast and going to be that way for the next 3 days. So, but drink some water. Take care of yourself. All right? And remember, open the windows of your soul. Allow that breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven now. And the way to find it is to look for the good. Look for the good. All right, beloveds. It's Tuesday. So today, Heartfelt Living starts. If you haven't taken it, then this would be a good time to take it. It starts at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you don't join this week, you have 1 more week to join. You can join into the second class. And then, and that will be taught by me and practitioner Danielle. So I'm very excited about it, and I know she's excited about it. So please feel free to join us. If you're interested, email info@creativelife.org, and Jessie will get you all the information that you need. All right, beloveds? So that's what's happening today. Reverend David will be on Facebook Live with you around 5 p.m. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Do what you need to do to make it a wonderful day. And remember that these talks are archived on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel. So feel free to check them out. There's over a year's worth of material up there now. So, and they're organized into playlists, and the titles are on there. So if there's something specific you're looking for, that's another way to do it. All right, beloveds, have a wonderful day.